Welcome to Wisconsin Sports Collector. We're going to talk about 1964 and 1965 Milwaukee Brave stuff. Bad years for Milwaukee. Still fun to collect, and they were still a good team. Let's get started. 1964 Topps had 34 cards with Braves on them. Trying to hide the fact that Felipe Alou was a giant. Well, you have to look at a lot of cards in these years closely, because if they don't have a hat, that probably means they don't have a picture of the current team, or sometimes they airbrush the logos out and repaint them. They look kind of dumb, but it's not really their fault. The cards had to be made in the wintertime when they didn't have a picture of a guy in the right hat or the right uniform yet. 64 is also Phil Niekro's rookie year. He was the Hall of Fame knuckleball pitcher. Bob Uecker was his personal catcher. He said a knuckleball is easy to handle. Just wait for it to stop rolling and pick it up. Topps coins are nice. There's 9 Braves in them. Topps Giants are made about twice the size of a normal card, and there's 3 Braves in those. I should also mention that Topps sold cards in Venezuela in 1959, 60, 62, 64, 66, and 68. They are all a little bit different than the normal Topps, and each in its own way. I do have a 64 Macmillan to represent here. The backs are what's really the difference. They're so hard to find, though. So hard and extremely hard to find the good ones. And the sets are smaller, too, than the regular Topps. But like in 68, the Nolan Ryan rookie is in a Venezuelan. Oh, gosh, if you got one of those, it's jackpot. Anyway, 64 also had Topps stand-ups. They were made to punch out and then bend to stand them up. There was 4 Braves in those. Mathews and Spahn are extra hard to get. They're short printed. Topps tattoos are sort of like comic book drawings of players. There were 5 Braves. Wheaties made stamps. They're nice looking. They're bigger than a postage stamp. It's still smaller than a card, though. There are 3 Braves in those. Challenge the Yankees was a game. I don't know how it was played, but Challenge the Yankees had 2 teams, the Yankees and stars from other teams. Aaron and Mathews are in the 64 game. They're actually in the 65 game, too. 65 Topps has 31 Braves. The first 14 were, in numerical order, were also O-Pee-Chees. This is when Topps made Canadian printed cards. A smaller set, though, not the whole set. Canada didn't want Topps importing cards, so they started a parallel company. I don't know why they called it O-Pee-Chee, but that's what it is. And this is a bigger deal in hockey cards. Topps versus O-Pee-Chee. Now, they do look a little different. Bazooka, also a Topps company, made 2 Braves that year. Challenge the Yankees, I said, has the 2 Braves. Pins showed up sometimes in potato chips or food products, and not of players, just of teams. Conn's Wieners started making baseball and football cards of the local teams, I think Ohio. But by now they were making cards of every team. There were 9 Braves. They're nice looking, a little different shape. Spring training pictures, I believe. One of them has a palm tree in it, so that's not Milwaukee. Old London made potato chips and included metal coins very similar to the 64 Topps coins, but there were only 2 Braves. Sometimes you can find them in the original clear plastic wrapper, which is kind of neat. Proofs exist on paper, too. The embossed Topps were a little bit different. There were 4 Braves. Topps transfers had 4 Braves. I have 2. I should mention that one of the special things about cards this era and really earlier, all the way back to the beginning, is that they're so colorful and nice looking. They had to add to the appeal quite a bit, because we're still talking about 1965 here. Everything on TV is in black and white. Every picture you ever saw of them on TV and news anywhere is all black and white. So the cards are pretty neat that they're so colorful. Well, that about does it for Milwaukee Braves. Gum, food, product, local issues. I have a lot of other stuff too, so the next show will be about that stuff. collecting still had to be fun at this time. The move to Atlanta was imminent. They used the same formula that Milwaukee did. In 1964, the stadium was built and ready to go. They did not have a guarantee of a team in Atlanta. The minor league Atlanta Crackers, what a name, the Atlanta Crackers. Well, they got bought by the Braves, then they got moved to Richmond, became the Richmond Braves. The Braves finally got a 2-year deal with the county board in 1964, which screwed them because the judges said that you couldn't break the lease, or they couldn't break the lease. So they had to stay in 65 even though they didn't want to, and everybody knew it, and nobody went to games. Ugh, bad. Nobody wanted to see a team that didn't want to be there. So Bartholomew, the owner, couldn't show his face around here. And the team was good. I mean, every year they were in Milwaukee, they finished about 500. No other team can claim that in their city. Even after they left, Milwaukee tried to get them back, and the guys didn't buy houses. The black players didn't want to move to the south. They had it pretty good around here. Well, very few collectibles in 1965 even say anything about Milwaukee. They'll just say Braves because nobody knew. So much was up in the air. Well, we know what happened. Thanks for watching.